Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Angry Birds Epic Randomizer. Nope, not randomizer. Okay, let me do that again. Welcome back to Angry Birds Epic Hardcore. I'm so used to saying randomizer that it's basically part of my intro now. But anyways, from what I've seen from my previous video, a lot of people seem to still really appreciate this mod despite the fact that it's really old. I mean, it's not like that old, it's like a year old, but it's still not the most recent mod out there. But a lot of people seem to still really like it after all this time, so let's try to get to the end of it, honestly. Now, I'm still not sure if this is actually the hardest mod in Angry Birds Epic. I've been told in the comments of my last video that Angry Birds Epic Refreshed is also pretty difficult. Maybe I'll give it a try later, but from what I've seen of it, it seems pretty similar to Hardcore, just with different pigs. But anyways, let's just get into it. The first level introduces a wealthy rock that is not so wealthy in the end because instead of dropping 50 snoutlings, it only drops 1. That's it. Boring, I know. And no, it's not in the stats this time. I don't know why this is here, but I guess they didn't have any ideas for this level and wanted to do something pretty funny. Anyways, after this level, there was the first workshop in the game, which allowed me to craft items to make my birds much stronger than they were previously. But this is pretty much just like in the base game, there's not much different about crafting items in this mod. Now the next level is quite particular. I feel like I'm using the word particular to describe literally every level in Angry Birds Epic Hardcore. Yeah, that's it, every level in Angry Birds Epic Hardcore is special, you heard me? But the thing is, the level starts off suspiciously easy compared to the other levels in this mod with literally just 2 regular stick pigs. But it doesn't end there, because the second wave is also just as easy. Like, why is this level so easy? There's something wrong here. The next wave is where something interesting actually happens though, because it introduces a new enemy, which is called the Demonic Mage, which has a support skill that summons a scary pig? I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but thankfully for me, never actually used that ability, so I guess I'll never know. Maybe that's the whole point actually, maybe it's supposed to scare you because you're like, oh my god, what the hell does that mean? But it never actually uses it, but it's probably not that, I'm probably just imagining things. What I will say though is that I got pretty close to dying here, but it's not really that the level's hard, it's more that I had a skill issue, I wasn't truly focused when playing the level, so my Chuck died, but it's not like too punishing of a level compared to some of the levels in the first video, like unlike some of the levels in the first episode, you could definitely make mistakes here and still survive. At first glance, the next level looks exactly like in the base game, but not really because the pigs are a lot stronger here. This might actually be the hardest level yet, honestly. I'm really surprised I didn't die here because during the entire battle I really thought I was going to die, but in the end, Red survived with just a little bit of health. Honestly, it's all thanks to the rage ability here, like if it wasn't for Red's rage ability, I would 100% have died here. But thanks to it, I was able to just barely survive. And with the next level, the game goes back to being relatively easy again, with another unmodified level from the base game, except unlike in the previous level, the pigs aren't even stronger here. As a result, this was the easiest level of the entire video. Honestly, not really much to say here. I know the mod is not like totally finished, so I assume that's why there are still some unmodified levels in here. While none as unfinished as Cave 26 though, the next level wasn't anything particularly difficult either. It started off with an unmodified brute similar to that level from the first episode, so I don't think I need to say that it was really easy. The next wave continued the trend of being really easy, with it being literally just a single tier 2 minion knight. This is literally so much easier than most of the level in the first chapter. In fact, it almost feels like it should be a chapter 1 level, but it can't be because it has waves and chapter 1 levels don't have waves. And the last wave is just to tier 2 knight, which as you probably know is really easy for a tier 2 enemy. So yeah, it didn't really ramp up the difficulty. I find it really funny how some of these levels can be really unbalanced. Like, you have a really hard level where you barely survive, and then right after that you have the easiest level of all time. And I'm not complaining, by the way, this isn't criticism or anything. I'm just saying sometimes when you play this mod you can be a bit surprised at how much these levels vary in difficulty, but I'm not saying it's a problem or anything like that. Unlike what the hint says, the next level doesn't actually feature Monty, but features a second appearance of Elite Mage Fan, the boss from that level in the first chapter. Yeah, there's really not much to say here, it's literally the same enemy that appeared in the first video. I will say though, he actually managed to take out my Choc right at the end while also dying to the shock shields. It's because I thought I had enough damage to kill him before I attacked, but I didn't, so yeah, that happened. After that, the birds get to meet Matilda, which no longer has her cleric outfit for some reason. Yeah, she used to have it just before, and now she doesn't. Okay, no one cares about that, I need to stop acting like a freaking artist. Anyways, there was another workshop, so I got to buy some more items, but unfortunately I didn't have enough resources to craft them. So what did I do then? Well, I just didn't craft them, because who cares about items, right? I mean, come on, this mod's not hard. It's not like those items are going to matter. Anyways, the next level was where Monty actually was introduced though, which instantly forced me to just go back and use Lightning Bird instead of Mage. It actually took me way too long to realize that the female pig at the bottom was actually a new pig called Moses' wife. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding, that's literally her name. Apparently some pigs have families in this mod now, like, what can I tell you? As for the fight itself, honestly it's okay. I didn't play very well during it, but fortunately the pigs just kept attacking the bird with the most health for some reason. I 100% should have died here, honestly I have no idea how I didn't, but either way this level isn't too bad, it's not the hardest thing ever. Now the next level introduces more new pigs, well, kind of. It introduces the golden pigs, and yes I know, golden pigs already exist in the base game, but they're completely different in this mod. They use golden hammers, which give them a 40% chance of stunning you, which is a super high percentage for a stun ability. Fortunately, golden pigs have this kind of gimmick where they only target the bird with the highest amount of health, so you're never really in danger unless all your birds are low. This allowed me to finish the battle with all my 3 birds alive, and honestly it's the only reason why I didn't die in the first place. Like seriously, I got so many close calls in this battle, if it wasn't for that gimmick I would 100% have died. Like how have I not died yet this entire episode, like the death counter didn't even go up once so far. But little did I know this would all change on the next level. It introduces another type of golden pig with a different weapon and the ability to empty the red chili by 30%. Which basically means that, to begin with, you have no red chili for the entire battle. On top of that, this level is significantly harder than the previous ones. I tried to do something here, but unfortunately I died before I could kill any of the pigs. And this is when I understood that, basically, my birds weren't strong enough. I mean, come on, this mod's not hard. It's not like those items are going to matter. Yeah, right. Now comes the least fun part of the mod, the grinding. You see, the original Angry Birds Epic had this problem where the item crafting system was really annoying. If you didn't have enough resources or enough snotlings to craft an item, you'd be stuck playing the same baby easy levels over and over again. And it's actually one of the things that the game was criticized the most for at launch. But in Angry Birds Epic Hardcore, this problem is amplified even more, because the levels are way harder, so you can't just skip an item because the levels are easy enough. No, you just have to craft them all, either you can't progress. It's not that big of a deal, honestly, like, this is really my only criticism I have for this mod so far. Like, I feel like it could do maybe like Angry Birds Epic Randomizer that gives you a lot more resources when you complete a level, maybe not as much because randomizer really gives you a lot of resources for that matter, but because after you beat the levels once, they don't stay difficult, they go back to their original game version, which are really easy, and grinding a bunch of really easy levels in a mod that's supposed to be difficult is not really the best thing. I mean, it's not really the fault of the mod, honestly, it's more the fault of the original game, and the mod just kept it the same. And I will insist again, I am not saying this to shit on the mod or to say it sucks. No, I think it's a really good mod, but I'm just leaving a suggestion that I think could make the mod even better than it already is, because I know there is a 2.0 version that's being worked on, so I think it would be cool to see this in the next update. But anyways, enough of this yap about item grinding, now let's get back to that golden pig level. Now that all those items are crafted, I think I'm ready for this. I played as defensively as possible, I spammed shock shields, healing shields and defense shields because honestly it was my best shot against these golden pigs because they deal so much damage. Keep in mind, because of these golden pigs, you don't have the raid chili to help you either. But anyways, thanks to this strategy and thanks to the golden pig gimmick of only attacking the highest health bird, I was able to just barely make it. It's better to just play defensively and make them take damage from their own attacks, because if you just attack them normally, you'll die, there's no other way. So this is pretty much the only way you can beat this level without dying. Maybe there's another one, but I don't know, like, even by doing this, even by playing super defensively, I barely survived. Overall, I think this is probably the hardest level so far. After finishing this, I unlocked a chest that gave me... Oh seriously? Anyways, after grinding for yet another item, it was finally time for the final level of the Golden Fields. Unlike the 3-wave level in the original game, in this mod it only consists of one enemy, the Golden Pig King, which when I saw his stats, I was not worried at all actually. I wasn't worried because I knew that I could just apply exactly the same strategy as in the previous level. It works even better here because he attacks all birds at once. So that's what I did, I just spammed all 3 shields and it worked miraculously. I survived with a decent amount of health and overall this is literally just an easier version of the previous level. So yeah, overall Golden Pig King, very easy boss fight, and if you manage to complete the level just before it, you should have no problem with this boss. I didn't even get 3 stars here, even though this is probably the most health I could have survived with. I'm pretty sure most levels are impossible to get 3 stars on the first time you beat them. Anyways, I don't have much else to add here, so that's gonna be it for this video. This was another really fun episode. The levels are fairly challenging, but nothing like Cave 26 or anything like that. It's pretty fair in terms of gameplay. I don't expect to struggle too much. I think this mod is mostly just going to be finding the right strategy instead of just banging your head against a wall, down retry style gameplay. Which is a good thing, it's what Angry Birds Epic was meant to be and not the mess it became towards the last few caves. Also, interestingly enough, Golden Fields actually used to introduce tier 3 enemies, but it was changed, I guess, to fit more with the boss of the area, which makes sense. But anyways, that's about all, so thanks for watching, and don't subscribe, especially if you're a Discord user.